God damn it. When are people gonna fucking realize that pro-choice does not mean I want to kill your children? It means pro-fucking-choice. Choice. Remember that word? Choice? Here, I'll break it down for you. Choice. A noun. An act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. Possible synonyms? Selection, option, pick, election, assortment. As you can see, assuming you're capable of synthesizing this information, choice, as opposed to compulsion, is more in line with what the forefathers of our country had in mind in most things. It's what this nation was fucking founded on. By being pro-choice, I am not compelling you to do one thing or another. I'm standing up for your right to choose, assholes. I'm so fucking exhausted with having to explain this shit. I really am. My belief that a person has a right to choose does not have any effect whatsoever on your choice. That's for you to decide. Personally, I find it offensive that people find my support of their right to have their options presented to them rather than be compelled one way or another offensive. What the fervent flying fuck do you not understand? Now, let me take a breath and try to handle this with ever so slightly more decorum. No, I am not a woman, but I do support the idea that you ought to have the right to decide what to do with your body, especially if you weren't given the option to intentionally place it into a state of gestation. No, I have never given birth. But I do believe that as a citizen of the United States of America, you are granted certain unalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If bearing children impedes your right to life, you should have the option to make a decision about that. If it strips your right to liberty, i.e. you weren't consulted on the idea of becoming pregnant, you should be allowed options. If it halts you in your pursuit of happiness, for instance, the child will most likely be stillborn, or it's the product of rape, or is likely to kill you in the process of becoming full term, you ought to be granted alternatives. Notice how in none of those arguments did I say you ought to scrape it out. Again, I'm not insisting that you believe as I do. I'm staunchly defending your right to believe what you wish. No, I've never been pregnant, but I'm not forcing my beliefs onto you and insisting that you do it my way, because if you don't, the invisible man in the sky will get you. Here's the thing. It seems to me that a vast majority of pro-lifers, you know, the ones killing all the abortion doctors, are ultra-conservative, right-wing, Republican, super-rich psycho-Christians. That's fine. I wholeheartedly support their right to choose that option. While I don't agree with it, one of the fundamental things that I believe in my core is that this country, we all have the right to follow our own pathos and ideologies. Yes, I use the word pathos intentionally. What I'm having trouble understanding is this. These are the same people that want to shirk their civic duties and responsibilities to the progress of a nation as a whole. They want their money to be their money and no one else's. They don't want to pay taxes. They don't want government. They don't want you to disagree with them. These are the anti-welfare, anti-unemployment, anti-healthcare reform, anti-poor people. If people don't have the option, the choice, or the education necessary to make the right decisions for their lives, or correct mistakes made by themselves, or mistakes made by other people but forced onto them, they will encumber society. Don't you get it? You're shooting yourself in the wallet. Planned Parenthood isn't about killing babies. For starters, in cases of abortion, the cells removed are not yet proven to be viable. More importantly, however, as the title of the establishment would suggest, it's about Planned Parenthood. It's about education, so that young people can make better decisions. So stop railing against them because you seem to think all they do is scrape out unwanted babies. As far as all you people who insist that any collection of cells that is capable of holding and maintaining life should be protected, don't be so fucking sanctimonious. A tumor is a collection of living cells. A parasite is a collection of living cells. That lemongrass smoothie you got from Hoity-Toity's house of douchebaggery before going to the office to rape consumers out of their hard-earned cash was a collection of living cells. Yogurt, living cells. Cheese, living cells. Salad, living fucking cells. Oh, and before you chime in with the standard issue question that's supposed to make me change my mind, you know, what if your mom chose to abort you? She wouldn't have. I was conceived, albeit to the chagrin of many, on purpose. That is a bullshit argument built on a horseshit foundation. Because guess what? when I was born, my mother did, in fact, have a choice. She chose to afflict the world with me anyway.